I'm Joanne Healy. I'm the assistant professor for special education, and I've invited the Rural Alaskan Honors Institute students to come down and learn about the assistive technology we have for our program, and give them an opportunity for hands-on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and show you all the devices and explain what their uses are for and why they'd be great for the kids. And then I'm going to set you loose and you get to play with them all. Talk first. And the GoTalk comes in different sizes. This is called the GoTalk 4 because it has 4 main screens. And then if you want to hold up, you have a GoTalk 9, which is a little bit bigger, has some more capabilities, more communication. And then this is, you want to hold this one up? This is, and actually we hold it this way. This is an individual one for students who may be in a wheelchair, and it has a tray so it can sit down on their tray. So I'm going to show you this one. The GoTalk 4s are for the student's voice, and so this might be for a science class and they're doing a test on the parts of a plant. And so when the teacher is pointing to a plant, they might say, well, what part is this? And the student would say, root,
leaf, flower,
oops,
stem. Yes. No.
So usually the top 2 frames are a yes or a no. I think the 9 has 3, and so maybe is in the middle. I'm not sure. And this has 5 different levels. So you can record 5 different cards. So this might be a science card, but you might also have one for lunch, or for English, or for math, or whatever you need, or for just maybe needs like I'm thirsty, I need some food, I need a break, what have you. And what goes along with the GoTalks is we have a program called Boardmaker Pro, and it has all these little icons. So for kids that are nonverbal and don't have a voice, you can look up different things, you know, when you get mad, show a picture of mad, or if you're trying to have them to do an assignment, well, first you have to do this, then you do this. So there's a lot of different applications that you can do, or you can do a task analysis for someone who might have more severe disabilities on how to brush their teeth, all the different steps on how to brush their teeth. And then they can check off, oh, I wet my toothbrush, done. Oh, I put the toothpaste on, done. And so it's very basic things. So Boardmaker Pro has a program on this also that you can set up for a student to do it on the computer, matching different items, and you can make any amazing board that you want for that. So this is an example of a communication device for students that don't have a voice or don't have verbal capabilities and haven't learned how to sign or what have you yet. So this is the GoTalk 4, and then as I said, this would be for someone in a wheelchair. And this is kind of an example. I've kept this because this is an example of how not to do it. Because first of all, if it's sitting like this, the pictures are going to be hard to read for the student. And then when you take it out, unless we've had classes in there. So they said friends are good, but if it's someone's voice, they might say, I want to talk to my friend, or friend, come here, something like that. So, so you can put them in 1, 4, or 9. So those are the GoTalks and the Boardmaker Pro. And most of the schools in Fairbanks, for their special ed department for teachers, they have a Boardmaker Pro there so that teachers can print out, and it's usually the speech and language teacher who can print out a specific board for a specific student. The next item is it's called the LiveScribe pen. And the LiveScribe pen is really an amazing device because right underneath the pen part, it has a camera. So as you are writing, it's taking a picture of the words that you're writing, and this notebook has specific items on the bottom to start recording and to stop recording, and if there's an important part, to make a bookmark. And so you can start recording, and it'll record everything that's going on in the room. So it's a great way to take notes versus a tape recorder. We have it hooked into the computer, and so it has a little docking device, so it charges up, and then it will download the information in your notebook, and you can even translate your writing, if you have clear writing, into printing or text. And then you can also have it on your iPod Touch, so you can take your notes with you.
So that was audio that was being spoken while someone was taking notes.
And so it's also highlighting the word as it's reading it. It's really quite phenomenal that it does all this. And then,
So with that pen, you can write something down and then you could turn it into text.
yes,
You can turn that into like
if you
message.
have, yes, if you have clear writing.
Did you know there are applications that could turn text into verbal or into sound?
Yes. And
So
we
you
have-
can you connect these two applications and make the person who's writing can you make it heard?
Well, you can always play back the pen when you're writing and you say, oh, I wonder what that was, and you can go back and you can touch on the notes, the spot that you're unclear about, and it will repeat back what was said. This is called the Kinder keyboard, but it's really a large keyboard for students that may not have the fine dexterity to use a regular keypad. And it's done in the same style as regular keyboards are. The consonants are in green, the vowels are in purple, numbers are in red, the punctuation is in gold, and then all the commands are in blue. So it helps kids distinguish between what spaces, etc. What they need to, so you can say it's a yellow key or it's a purple key, find the vowel E, and they can work on that. So this is for those students who don't have fine motor control, helps them find the keyboard. This is another application for students that don't have fine motor control, often students with cerebral palsy or some sort of physical disability. Sometimes they don't have, their hands are curled in, and so they don't have any fine motor control. And so we have switches set up, and we have 3 different switches here. We have what's called a ribbon switch, which is taped down to the table, and when you click it, what you do is you set it up with the computer to do a command key, and we were lucky to find a bunch of new games for the switches. So for kids who may have mobility functions, that's it. So we have the ribbon key, we have the button key, which is it's a nice round thing, and this can actually be placed up for kids in a wheelchair. So this can be placed on their wheelchair tray, or if they have a headrest, you can place it up by their headrest. So it's a 5-step thing, and then it'll have an animation, and then it goes blank, and then you start again. So. And so it gives kids that don't have a whole lot of control, something that they can do, something that's entertaining. And what it actually does is you can set up the switches so that they're working on their range of motion, and they're increasing their range of motion by reaching for the different switches. Okay. At the end, we have what's called Mac dictation, and it's very similar to Dragon dictation. And what it will do is you put on headphones, And it's a speech recognition software. And so whatever you say, you have to set it up pretty closely, but it only takes about 10 minutes. And it goes through the directions for it to recognize your voice is actually the directions for the program. And then it will start, whatever you say, will come typing out of here. The nice thing about this, for when you think of a special education teacher that may have, if they work at a high school, they may have 100 kids at a big high school here in town, or in a smaller school they might have 30 kids. And Mac Dictate holds 200 voices. So as a special education teacher, you can have all the kids 1st through 6th grade on here, and they can go ahead and talk, and it'll type for them. Question?
Can I ask a question?
Uh-huh.
Does that mean that then each time those 200 students won't have to go for the 10-minute direction decoder?
Right. Once they have their, and you'll see, I make all my students put their voice on here so they can see how easy it is. And so all their voices are here, and I have them come in after they've done it and go ahead and type up a paragraph, and then they can see some words it won't recognize, and so they'll go back and figure out how to change the words. But it's, if you have something where you're reading a lot of technical information, you can just read it at a normal speech speed, and it's typing away. And I don't know about you guys, but I can't type that fast. So this is very, very helpful, and pretty amazing. And it allows you to control the iPad with just a switch. So it lights up, and it's, can you hear it? Mm-hmm. And it's going to play the song, and you can adjust. So when you first do it, then you click if you want to stop it there, and then it'll go to the back song, and then if you want the volume, you can increase and decrease the volume. And the switch is very, very easy, a light finger touch, and it changes. So you can hook up switches to a lot of different devices, and it's really neat for students that may not have a lot of control, but to be able to control their own music, how great is that?